We would like to request all our guests to be seated now. Once again, all our guests are requested to please settle down. We are now witnessing the mass jump. Equipped with additional competencies in unconventional or asymmetric operations, the Special Forces troopers are now more geared to perform as a quick reaction force that can be deployed from air anytime and anywhere. Airborne operation is one of the great innovations in warfare. It introduces a new battlefield dimension by enabling rapid force insertion into inaccessible objectives such as denied areas or deep behind enemy lines. Successful conduct of airborne operation allows ground commanders to threaten the enemy rear areas, causing the enemy to divert combat elements to protect vital installations and hold key terrains, overcome distances quickly, overfly barriers, and bypass enemy defenses, extend the area over which influence and exploit his combat power by increasing his tactical mobility. The mass jump demonstrates the expertise of the Special Operations Forces paratroopers as they jump from an aircraft and go airborne using the Philippine Army's maneuverable canopy Model 1, the Haribon parachute named after the majestic Philippine eagle or Haring Ibon, simply Haribon, the national bird of the Philippines. These jumps highlight their skills and prowess. Philippine Army's 127th year. It is the very first time that the Army is celebrating and holding the anniversary program outside of its headquarters. And we are proud to celebrate here at the home of the professionals, the source of Army standards, the Training and Doctrine Command, Philippine Army, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, with commitment and fervor of continued service with pride and honor for the country and the Filipino people. Arrayed before you on the ground in mass formation is a division-sized troops consist of the combat and combat support units. From the Training and Doctrine Command, 77 and 28th Infantry Battalions, the 1st Scout Ranger Regiment, Special Forces Regiment Airborne, the troops that participated in the Combined Arms Training. Also, you can see on the ground the showcase of the Philippine Army's traditional capabilities. We have the Philippine Army assets being used in the internal security operations, anti-terrorism, as well as in peace and humanitarian efforts. Consists of the firepower, the Army's artillery assets, the 105mm howitzers, the ultra-light tactical mobility vehicles of the Light Reaction Regiment, the Armored Division's truck vehicles, the Sultan Atmos 155mm self-propelled howitzers, the latest in the Army artillery assets. We also have the newly acquired ASCOD 2 Sabra light tanks, the Mobile Command Center, and beside the MCC, we have the Kirani 6x6 wheeled armored personnel carrier. The Simba Armored Fighting event showcases the overall show of force of the Philippine Army. The troop commander for the ceremony is Major General Ignatius N. Patrimonio, the commander of the 11th Infantry Alakdan Division, Philippine Army.
Manalangin tayo. Salamat din sa mga tao at iba't ibang ahensya at samahan na iyong sinugo bilang aming katuwang sa kanilang suporta. Ganon din sa biyaya ng suporta at inspirasyon ng aming pamunuan sa militar, ng aming mga kakilala at pamilya, at ng aming pamahalaan at tungkulan. Mapanatili nawa ang magandang kaisahan na aming nararanasan at mapalalim ang pasyon at pagmamahal buhay. Papuri sa iyo, Panginoong Diyos, ngayon at magpakailanman. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Of the Philippine Army Arnis Exhibition Group. In 1974, former President Ferdinand Etralin Marcos Sr. supported the Filipino martial arts by establishing the National Arnis Association of the Philippines. And in 2009, Arnis became the national martial art and sport through the Republic Act 9850, with the Armed Forces of the Philippines serving as one of the entities overseeing its implementation.
These Arnis techniques are deeply ingrained in the training of our Philippine Army soldiers. These skills are not just for show, but are designed to be applied effectively in real-world scenarios. Witness their athleticism, accuracy, speed, and unwavering determination in a performance that will leave you breathless. Now, prepare to be captivated. The Philippine Army Arnisadors are ready to showcase their mastery in the Arnis exhibition.
today are a testament to the rich history and enduring spirit of Filipino martial arts by your Philippine Army soldiers.
This occasion marks the 127th founding anniversary of the Philippine Army. We take pride in the impressive display of proficiency exhibited by our soldiers. Let's give a round of applause to the Arnis Trainers Training, Class 01, Arnis Ador.
At this point, let me acknowledge our Training and Doctrine Command is fast-tracking the construction of new training facilities across the country, and not just like a butterfly, sting like a bee. We aspire to develop an army that is agile and precise, capable to deliver decisive action against any threat that may arise. I also acknowledge Lieutenant Colonel Jovelyn Carmel Cabading, the Battalion Commander of 60th Infantry Battalion, the gender roles in the military. Salamat sa inyong pag-volunteer na sumapi sa pinakamahirap at pinaka-challenging na branch of service. Palakpakan natin sila. Continuous learning and development, especially in our training and education to adapt to the new security challenges. Kalusugan at kalakasan, pagmamahal sa pamilya at taimtim na panalangin sa poon may kapal para maging matatag ang pundasyon ng hukbong katiyan. Maraming salamat sa tiwala at suporta. Buhay ang matatag na hukbong katiyan para sa bagong Pilipinas. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat, that in all things, God may be glorified.
Also, with the indulgence of our guest of honor, allow me to announce, because I was impressed by the Arnis exhibition, introducing our guest of honor and speaker. Our guest of honor and speaker for the 127th anniversary of the Philippine Army.
Thank you very much, General Bronner. Please take your seats. General Patrimonio, kindly order the troops to tikas pahinga.
Tikas! Hinga! Pinuno.
Thank you very much to our Chief of Staff, General Romeo S. Bronner. Greetings to everyone, especially to all the men and women of the Philippine Army on the occasion of this anniversary. He likewise conveys his deep regrets for not being able to be with us today. Nonetheless, he wishes that we all have of the Philippine Army on the occasion of your founding anniversary. Since your foundation 127 years ago, the Philippine Army has endured the test of time, prevailed over battles, and evolved into a force that we can all be proud of. Not only has the organization been successful in its internal security operations, but it also exerted efforts in shifting to external defense. The incredible movement of large-scale forces and the total show of force, that is why we continue to boost our Army's morale, efficiency, and responsiveness through continuous capacity building initiatives. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas! Ladies and gentlemen, those are the words of the Commander-in-Chief. Let us remain steadfast in the fulfillment of our duties.
Thank you very much, Secretary Gilberto S. Chidoro, Jr. of the Department of National Defense. Attitude and free falling until the parachute is deployed. The military free fall allows operators to insert into areas where traditional parachute jumps would not be feasible due to the distance from the target or the need for stealth. MFF is a highly specialized skill that requires extensive training and experience. Operators must be proficient in skydiving techniques and familiar with the equipment used in the military freefall operations. They must also be able to navigate using the GPS and other tools, as well as be prepared to deal with potential hazards such as high winds, difficult terrain, and enemy detection.
Airborne from skies so blue, we're coming through. Make you jump, make you run, let's go!
The military free fall is typically used for high-risk missions such as reconnaissance, sabotage, and direct action raids. It allows special operations forces to rapidly insert into an area undetected, giving them a tactical advantage over the enemy. Military free fall is just one of the many techniques used by special operations forces for infiltration, and it requires careful planning, coordination, and execution to be successful. The tactical employment of the military free fall involves careful planning and execution to ensure the safety and success of the mission. Well, here are some key considerations for the tactical employment of the military free fall. Mission planning. Before conducting the military free fall operation, mission planners must carefully assess the objective and select the appropriate insertion method, equipment, and personnel. They must also consider factors such as weather, terrain, and enemy activity. Equipment selection. Military freefall requires specialized equipment, including oxygen systems, cold weather gear, and high-altitude parachutes. Operators must be trained on the proper use of this equipment and conduct thorough equipment checks before each mission. Personnel selection and training. MFF requires highly trained and experienced operators who can handle the physical and mental demands of the high-altitude parachuting. Operators must undergo rigorous training in the MFF techniques, including high-altitude jumps, oxygen systems, and emergency procedures. Also, operational security. MFF operations are often conducted in hostile environments, and operational security is paramount to mission success. Operators must take measures to avoid detection and maintain secrecy before, during, and after the mission. Overall, the tactical employment of the military free fall requires careful planning, specialized equipment, highly trained personnel, operational security, and risk management. When executed properly, military free fall can provide a highly effective means of infiltrating enemy territory and conducting special operations mission. Well, upon reaching their designated landing zone, the Special Forces team will immediately cache their parachutes to avoid detection and will proceed to their objectives.
We're gonna jump tonight as we never jumped before. For when we jump, we're happy as can be. For we are the members of the Airborne Company, which is the best company that has ever come from the AFB. Glorious, ha ha ha, glorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you have witnessed is the military freefall operation conducted by the troops of the Special Forces Regiment Airborne Philippine Army.
Praise the Lord above, there will be more of us, for we are the members of the Airborne Company, which is the best company that has ever come from the AM.
A big hand for the Special Forces Regiment Airborne.
We're special forces of the AFP, and we
Well, the troop commander, Major General Ignatius N. Patrimonio, will report for the termination of today's ceremony.
skies paratroopers.
Ginoo, tapos na po ang seremonya.
Fight we will, tell all the guns of the foe.
Well, from here, the Secretary of National Defense is requested to proceed down the grandstand for the photo opportunity with the soldiers. We also would like to request, of course, the other distinguished personalities, other government officials, joined by the PAMO commanders. Please join in the photo opportunity, and other distinguished guests. Once again, PAMO commanders, please join in the photo opportunity down the grandstand, please.
Let's go! We jumped last night, we jumped the night before. We gonna jump tonight as we never jumped before. For when we
Okay, once again, the PAMO commanders to join down the grandstand for the photo opportunity.
Kasayaman, biyayang bigay ng may kapal. Sa ganda mong namumungkot tangi, bantay ay matatapang na bayani.
Haligi mo'y tulad ng kabundukan, tibay at tatag na sa panaho'y nasubukan. Kalayaang binantayan hanggang ngayon'y ating bati, hindi matitinag hanggat kami nakamasid.
Kawal kami.
Well, this time, we'd like to request the former commanding generals of the Philippine Army, former commanding generals of the Philippine Army to join in the photo opportunity.
Pilipino, tapat mahusay, likas ang tapang at lakas.
Well, of course, other stakeholders to join in the photo opportunity.
Bagong Pilipinas, aming ipagsasanggalang, maglilingkod kami, hindi magtataksil.
Once again, former commanding generals of the Philippine Army to join in the photo opportunity, please.
Asahang magbabantay kami sa araw at gabi.
Kawal kami na maglilingkod sa'yo tungo sa bagong Pilipinas.
Kawal Pilipino, tapat mahusay, likas ang tapang at lakas.
Once again, we'll have the photo opportunity with the former commanding generals of the Philippine Army.
Bagong Pilipinas, aming ipagsasanggalang, maglilingkod kami, hindi magtataksil, buhay man namin masawi.
Well, of course, this time we'll be having the photo opportunity with the former commanding generals of the Philippine Army. Also, the members of the Foreign Armed Forces Attaché Corps. All awards.